Hello students, I hope you're having a good day. I just want to touch base with you about grading, how I grade your work. So you'll be clear and understanding, and I just wanted to keep you informed. Several years ago, I was reading or watching a TED Talk, and it's this TED Talk right here. It's called How to Get Better at the Things You Care About by Eduardo Briceño. And what Briceño discusses is these two types of zones. He describes the learning zone and the performance zone. And so when we want to get better at something, we spend more time in the learning zone. We practice, we make mistakes, we experiment until we have figured out the best way to do something, and then we perform in the performance zone. And so I take that into consideration when I'm grading. And when I'm grading, discussions or journals, to me, that's the learning zone. That is where you're practicing. You're writing. You may experiment with different structures of essays. You may try out a new style or some new diction, different language, similes, metaphors. You might try incorporating those into your writing. And so it's good practice, and it's good to feel safe there where you're not penalized for trying something out. And so discussions and journals are the learning zone. When I grade those, I will offer you a lot of advice. If I see a lot of grammatical errors, I will tell you, you have a lot of run-ons, you need to work on that, or you need to write in present tense, or avoid using second person pronoun you. That's your learning. I'm trying to help you get better. And so I don't necessarily deduct a lot of points for those kinds of problems in the learning zone. You will lose points in the learning zone if you just don't follow instructions at all. Like if you have a couple of prompts and you're allowed to choose from one of the prompts and you just write about some random entry, your grade will go down in the learning zone. If you don't meet the minimum word count. So, for example, if a journal has 600 words and you write 300 words, well, that's not showing me that you are trying to learn or trying to practice and do your best. Okay? So the learning zone is by no means a way to just turn in whatever. It's an opportunity for you to make some mistakes and not be penalized tremendously for those mistakes. Okay? It's still the place where you have to put forth your very best effort. And so you can keep practicing and getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, when you turn in essays, that's the performance zone. That's where I go in and grade more seriously and consider all the elements. That's where you do start getting some penalty for mistakes. Okay? And so I would also want to show you how I grade the rubric. It's in the argument folder. It's right here. It says rubric. This is a College Board rubric. I have this internalized. I know it very well, and this is what I use. And so these 4 or lower are not very good essays. They're inadequate. They're superficial. It might be a lot of summary and not very much analysis or argument. There's not a lot of depth or substance to the essay. Okay, these will not receive a passing grade. So take a moment to go look at these. A 5 is just an average essay. It's adequate. That's the descriptor. It's an adequate essay. It's somewhat predictable. It might be somewhat superficial. It has some argument, but it's a little bit limited. It's not very unique. It's kind of commonplace. And there might be some grammatical slips. And so 5, if you look down here, a 5 is a 75. Okay, a 6 is an 84. That's a big jump. It's a better essay, but it's still not quite beautiful yet. It's satisfactory. Okay, now these right here, the 8 and the 9, are successful essays. Those are the A's. Those have compelling arguments. They have solid writing throughout the entire essay. It makes me, as I'm reading the essay, I'm like, wow, that's really intelligent. That's a very smart point and unique point. These essays are compelling and they're beautiful and there's nice writing to it. Okay, and so I like to tell the students about an analogy. These right here, these low essays, even the 5 to some degree, is like a snorkeler. He has some depth, or he has some insight, a couple of unique comments when he goes down, but he's snorkeling, so he has to come back to the surface to get some air. Okay, and so it's superficial at times. So there's some superficiality, some depth and insight, some superficiality, some depth and insight. Okay. These up here, the 7, 8s, and 9s, those are the scuba divers. Okay. They can have a depth. They have the insight, the uniqueness for long extended periods of time. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you receive your grades. The discussions and journals, I still expect good quality and meet the minimum requirements and follow the directions, but that's my chance to help you get better. That's where I want you to feel safe and I want you to know where you're at. The essays is where you perform, and that's where you get the greater deductions for the actual writing and the grammar issues and the argument. Okay, I hope this helps.